All right, so you want to talk about something that's a little uncomfortable for me?
Wait here. Wild card. Admit something.
Okay, this is it. All right, so do you want me to open it then?
Yeah, if you want, Bobby.
Oh God, this is hard. All right, I just want to announce to everybody that Khalyla and I are no longer together. Um, it's been not over. It's not over. I mean, in the sense that you know we. I want to say that Khalyla is the love of my life, my best friend. Um, if there was a book about my life, she would be. If there was 10 chapters, she'd be four of them at least, five of them.
Give me half.
I'll give you half a chapter.
Give her
Yeah.
half the book.
She changed my life in so many different ways. She reinvented who I was. And yeah. And the reason why we're announcing that is because there are things that people believe online that aren't true. And I want to address those things because it's causing a lot of pain in our house. And I'm going to start with my part in it. And my part is this. You know, years ago, Khalyla had this heart condition. And it started in the Philippines. And we were in the Philippines, and I had to carry her into a taxi, and we thought she was going to die. And after that, at home, we just would have the ambulance at our house 2 or 3 times a week. We'd always constantly go to the hospital at 5 in the morning. And at that point in my relationship with her, I changed a bit, and it became, I was just worried about her, keeping her alive. And I think that it shifted the relationship. You know what I mean? A lot of the sexual stuff that I felt before that had diminished, and it became more of a caretaker. Not caretaker. That's a terrible word to use, but like I was extremely worried about her. And when you're in that kind of situation, a lot of that energy, and it changes the relationship. At least. And then I began to fantasize about other women. I would watch porn every single night, and and this is over years of this. And I just distinctly remember there were moments where we would sit down and she would be crying, going, "What happened with us? There's no intimacy. I feel like you don't know me anymore. I want you to get to know me again." And a lot of times I would do false promises like, "Trust me, I'm just going through a phase," or "I'm working on it," or whatever. And I would, you know, basically shrug it off and tell her that we're going to deal with it in the future or whatever it might be. But this is years of this. I mean, in fact, there were times where she would plan vacations so that she could rekindle some of the magic that we had lost. One time we were in Hawaii to do that. It was the first time I went to Hawaii that wasn't a work related thing. And I think we tried, and it looked optimistic maybe sometimes, but I don't know. I have to say that a lot of it was my fault. And I was in therapy talking about it. We did couples therapy and stuff, and so it eventually got to the point where obviously people have needs, and she had needs, and we didn't know what to do because of many things. Number one, like I said, we literally are best friends. We spend 24 hours a day together. We created Tiger Belly together. We have other things that we want to do. We have 7 animals. We live together. Her niece lives with us. We're a family, and there's a warmth in the house. And it feels like a family, like I said. But it got to the point where, it's like, what else? If I'm not going to change, and I'm not, and I trust me, I tried. So it got to the point where I was like, we threw out suggestions and things that would, I was mindful about how Khalyla can maybe, get her needs fulfilled, right? And I threw out suggestions, maybe you should see somebody else, you know what I mean? And, I said it a couple of times. I also want to address something that happened with my brother. And this is a very sensitive thing for me. Anyone listening to Tiger Belly and are familiar with our podcast knows the things that have been going on. You know what I mean? It's been a nightmare. So essentially, my brother said some things to a random person that were not true. He has, to me personally, apologized. You know what I mean? For me, you know what I mean? And I think he knows his mistake, but I don't know fully, you know what I mean, how he feels. But essentially, he said things like, Khalyla was a gold digger. I have to say that to people listening, that, when I met Khalyla, I had no money. I can tell you what I was making on the road. I had no other prospects of cash. The only amount of money I was making is through doing A, B room sometimes and getting not a door deal, but getting like, a guarantee, So it's not, I mean, compared to all my peers and stuff, really. And when I met her, she kind of reinvented my thing. I made my money with her. She has her own money, right? All the things that I have in my life, right, is a direct result of meeting her and her and I building a business together. Other things have grown out of that, like it rekindled my acting career. I've done well when it comes to selling things and whatnot. It's been very good, but without her, I don't know where I'd be. So him saying that she's a gold digger is not true. She's not. She's never asked for anything. And he said things like she's keeping, you know what I mean, me from other people, or something like that, and during the pandemic, we didn't see anybody. I'm tired of people thinking that I don't make my own decisions. Everything that I do, I make my own decisions. I'm Bobby Lee. I do what I want, right? And during the pandemic, I was super fucking scared. I didn't know anything about this virus. I didn't leave the house for a year and a half. I didn't even go to the grocery store for a year and a half, right? And I didn't see my brother. You know what I mean? I didn't see my mom, right? I didn't see anybody, right? And I think that my brother thought that was, you know what I mean, me disappearing, or, you know what I mean, or, you know what I mean, something was going on, you know what I mean, that was like, I don't know. I don't know what he was thinking. But yeah, with all that stuff that he said, I don't know if you guys, even if people even listening knows, but he had texted some random person his gripes that were absolutely unfounded and not true. And people have taken that and ran with it online. And it's really hurtful to Khalyla. It's hurtful to me. And I just wanted to address it. So, just, and another thing that I want to add is, I was blatantly flirting with other people, and there was things that she caught me in that were like, you know what I mean, kind of, it took her aback that I did some lying, you know what I mean? And there were things that, none of this was like an anomaly or is that the right word? Or, you know what I mean, out of nowhere, you know what I mean? It's a reaction, right, to my behavior. I've done a lot of growth in the last 6 months and changes. I put some hard boundaries down, and I don't really give a shit, to be honest with you, what people think. I don't give a fuck. And the people that are saying shit about me in this, go fuck yourself. I mean, because you don't know. This is my personal life, and this is our life, and it's like, you know, they're being very mean toward Khalyla, and I've had enough of it. You know, it's unfounded, not true, and she's a good girl, and I love her very much, and I wish people would stop. You know, I really do. So that's pretty much everything in a nutshell for me. I mean, I love Khalyla. I love my brother as well. You know, he hurt me. He hurt me. It was painful. That being said, I know through time things will heal, but here's the good news. We're not stopping Tiger Belly. We're not. We're good. We're good. We're not stopping. I'm never gonna see anybody else in my life.
You don't know that.
I have no interest.
Well, you a priest?
You don't know
I have no interest. I really have no interest. You know what I mean?
We just need
I'm a-
time to heal. You don't know that.
Yeah. Anyway, that's how I feel. You know what I mean? I'm not compromising. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna watch your movies. You know, I'm just telling the future. If there was a future, I'm not gonna go to your restaurant. I'm gonna eat what I want to eat.
Oh,
You know what I mean? I'm not gonna listen. I don't. You know what I mean? I'm gonna play 20 hours of video games if I want to, and whatnot. And so that's that.
But if you have a real interest in
And I have no interest.
dating
I have no
Bobby,
interest in any of that.
No, I'm just telling any girl.
I'm not
out there
listening.
who's a good
I will not
girl.
listen. I will not cuddle. I will not cuddle. I will not listen, and I don't give a fuck. All right, I'm not doing any of it. It's not who I am. So that's that. This has nothing to do with, you know what I mean, anybody else or my desires or whatever. It has to do with preserving Tiger Belly. Khalyla and I work great together. We have great ideas. We're producing another thing together. We're going to do a book. You know what I mean? And you know, I'm super excited about the future of my business here. We have a great family, and that's it. That's all I wanted to say.
It's my go.
Yeah.
Do you have anything, Khalyla?
Yeah, I just I'm sad, but I love you, and that's it. Just give me a second.
Yeah.
I just don't want to like say it. This podcast has like changed my life. I never thought that I could ever like dabble in anything creative. Like, you know that question earlier when you were like, what's one thing your younger self would like never believe?
Yeah.
Is that I would even be allowed, or that I would allow myself like a creative outlet, you know? And yeah, this podcast has changed my life. And even though difficult, there isn't like a moment of regret that I spent